Hi everybody, Matt back with you. Hope you're okay. Today I'm in Todmorden Centre. This is a town that likes to celebrate its famous sons and daughters, and there are a number of blue plaques across town celebrating those people. The blue plaque trail can lead you to the houses of Jeff Love, William Holt, or the two Nobel Prize winners Geoffrey Wilkinson and John Cockcroft. There is, however, one person who doesn't have a blue plaque. I think it's quite famous and worth remembering. And he was born in 1830s, roughly just about here behind me, on what would have been York Street. Now, it's quite hard to imagine, being as we're in Todmorden, pretty much the centre of the country, that from here, the man we're talking about became a famous sea captain. This is the story of Captain Samuel Brooks. Despite it seemingly being an odd career for a lad from Todmorden, at 15 years old, Brooks joined the ship the Patriot, and that was a ship that was going between Liverpool and Naples. Was involved in fruit trading. That was a job he stayed until he was 19. So he was on board that ship for 4 years, and in that time he learned quite a lot. In 1850 he joined a ship called the Bessie. This was a ship that was travelling to Panama by the Cape of Good Hope, and Brooks joined it as an able seaman. However, by the time the ship finished its voyage, he had a very different role, because unfortunately it was a very, very treacherous voyage, and both the captain and the first mate of the Bessie died of yellow fever, and Brooks suddenly found himself as the acting captain of the ship. So he was responsible and successfully brought the ship back home to safety. Not bad at 19. Despite his sudden promotion to captain at 19, 1854 he was back as a second officer as he joined the Liverpool, New York and Philadelphia Steamship Company on a boat called the City of Baltimore. This was a ship that sailed passengers across the sea from the UK to America. In the 1850s, he married Harriet Hudson at Christstone Church in Todmorden. And by 1859, he was a fully fledged captain. Joined a ship called the Kangaroo, working there for 10 years, navigating the 2-week journey between Liverpool and New York. In 1869, he was in charge of this ship, known as the City of Brooklyn. 4 years later, he took charge of the City of Richmond. This ship once held the record for the fastest crossing from Liverpool to New York, taking 7 days, 18 hours and 50 minutes. Nearly half the time it used to take. And more ships followed. In 1876, he was the captain of the City of Chester. And then 1882, he became captain of the Arizona. Interestingly, 3 years before, 1879, this ship had crashed on its maiden voyage into an iceberg. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? The Arizona was the ship the captain stayed with the longest, staying with it until retiring in 1894. Around the 1850s, Brooks married a Harriet Holden at Crossstone Church, and it's also where his final resting place is. So we're heading there now. Let's see if we can find the grave of Captain Brooks. Okay, so you are at Crossstone once again. Seems to be a place I'm at quite a lot recently, telling stories from here at the graveyard. As we've mentioned in those videos, Crossstone is sadly turning into an overgrown wilderness of rhododendrons and brambles. They're not even flowering rhododendrons, unfortunately. So I'm hoping we can find Captain Brooks's grave, but we'll certainly give it our best shot. This is what I mean. A lot of these rows are totally inaccessible. So Brooks is listed on being row number 1, but no, row number 1 isn't that end. It starts at A to Z and then starts with numbers. So let's give it a go. So Brooks retired in 1894 and officially had 10 years of retirement before his passing in 1904. But in that time, it's said that he'd clocked up over 2.5 million miles at sea. Also, he was very proud of the fact that he never once lost a passenger. Now, online there is an image of a memorial stone, gravestone, that was put up for the captain, and it seemed a very apt tribute, perhaps better than a blue plaque on a house at the house on York Street. It's no longer there either, and it was a lovely, I'll put it on here now so you can see it, and it's like a ship's anchor and everything else, but apparently over the decades I don't know what happened to it, whether it got smashed up or just eroded over time. I have found Brooks's gravestone as it is now. I'll be honest, it's a bit disappointing. So this one here, this is the tomb of Captain Samuel Brooks. And as you can see, it is not great, is it? I'm going to be very careful because I don't know if this is just going to sink. All the base has fallen out. You won't be able to make this out. I'm really sorry. You just have to trust me. But it says Captain Samuel Brooks. Assessor. That says assessor, but I don't know. Nautical assessor. Age 72. It's impossible to make out anything else, I'm sorry. Perhaps if it had rained and got wet it might look a bit better, but as you can see, even this stone, even though I presume it's newer, is eroding away. I can't make out if there are any other names on it, whether his wife is buried with him or buried here. Yeah. So there we go. That is the final resting place of one of Todmorden's famous sons, who's kind of been forgotten, and it's a shame really. He was known as a very respected sailor and captain for over 50 years. And yeah, that's what's here today. Is a shame. But there we go. So from Crossstone Graveyard, we'll see you very soon for the next video. Take care.